We have been tracking stormy weather almost every day for folks that live across the southern plains and also the Gulf Coast. Today is no exception. Yesterday, it was all about Louisiana. Today, we'll get some action in Louisiana for sure, but it actually does extend farther up inland, all the way through Tennessee. There's a live look at Chattanooga and Nashville this morning. Lots of cloud cover. The problem is that cloud cover is going to erode and go away by the time we get to the late morning. And that midday sunshine is going to be a huge kicker. It's going to increase the instability and lead to more severe action as we go into the afternoon and the evening. So this morning is by far the quiet time of the day. In fact, the Fox Weather Alert Board is completely clear. Nothing is looking ominous. Very scattered showers across Kentucky, a couple flashes of lightning. In the overnight outside of Atlanta, we had a thunderstorm, and really this morning, just a couple showers, flash of lightning. South Carolina not looking too bad. The big problem will be developing later today. So Atlanta, you're also locked up in this potential. That's a live look right now at the stadium. We got temps in the 60s. Lots of moisture, so as you wake up, you're going to feel that the air is humid, it's a little thick, and as we go into the afternoon, that's going to be an important ingredient for severe weather. Hail. It is a big part of today's forecast if you live across parts of North Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, really Appalachians. We're talking about some hilly, mountainous terrain, and these thunderstorms could produce 2-inch in diameter hail or larger. So this is very large hail that we're anticipating. Again, as I said, the moisture is a big part of this. I mean, this morning you're going to wake up and you're going to feel the heaviness in the air, the sticky feel. The overall severe weather threat is higher across parts of northern Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia. We're at a level 2 there. The level 1 threat actually extends all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So here's an overall look at it. Again, couple things popping up this morning. Not really a huge deal. I do want to pause the clock at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Clear skies, clear skies, clear skies. Bad news bear when you have so much humidity and active weather systems moving through. That combo allows for the afternoon and evening development. So by 7 p.m., these thunderstorms that are blasting across eastern parts of Tennessee will be one to watch. They get up into the Appalachians, create the hailstones, the large damaging wind gusts. I mean, storms are going to be very plentiful even after the sun goes down, continuing to about 1 o'clock in the morning. Then we get a little bit of a reprieve, but Friday, more storms are in the forecast. As I said, today's threat does extend all the way to the Gulf Coast. So from New Orleans to Tallahassee to Jacksonville, we've had a rough go of things lately, and we're going to continue that trend. Let's look at the hourly forecast for Mobile. These are widely scattered thunderstorms for the Gulf Coast, so it's not your whole day. Actually, the majority of your day is very warm, very humid, temperatures getting close to 80 to 82 degrees across the Gulf Coast. But in the afternoon, that heat of the day, we'll see those isolated showers and storms pop up. So keep your eye to the sky, turn your notifications on your Fox Weather app, and get ready as we're expecting some stormy skies later today. Now, we also have another round of nasty weather for this same zone as we move into the weekend. So let's dive into what we're expecting this weekend. We just have weather system after weather system pushing in from the west and moving into the southeast, which kind of prolongs this whole setup. So as you take a look at the snapshot of what we're expecting today across this zone, know that we have a lot more to get through as we really get into the heart of the weekend. There's a live look, by the way, of Georgia on the left, Florida on the right. Not too shabby, right? Jacksonville is going to look pretty stormy later today. We have a threat of severe weather and flooding. In fact, the flooding potential here is going to be something that really sticks with us, not only this weekend, but early next week. As we look at Sunday and Monday, a higher potential here, a level 2 out of 4 threat for flash flooding that extends from Florida into Georgia and even up into the Carolinas for Monday. Notice by Monday, it does start to move into the mountainous terrain of western North Carolina. With severe weather possible for the Appalachians today, flooding possible on Monday, we really got to keep in mind the folks that are still trying to move forward past Helene. That is an effort that will take years. So very much a an important thing to point out. Let's look at the rain totals for those areas. I mean, easily we'll see 2, maybe 3 inches of rain. The most intense rain will be out of western North Carolina, closer to the water. So 5 to 8 inches of rain, very common for coastal areas of Florida, South Carolina, and Georgia. You think about some of these towns, Savannah, Charleston, you guys struggle with flooding already. So you throw on this heavy rain potential, it's going to be one to watch very closely. And the timing couldn't be worse because we're talking about the weekend. Big dip in the jet here that's going to scoop up that Gulf moisture. If that wasn't enough, we'll see an area of low pressure develop at the surface in the Gulf. Again, not a tropical entity, but it brings in the tropical moisture. And so we'll see this spinball effect. Well, we'll have rounds of thunderstorms training in from the Gulf laced with heavy moisture. That's how you end up with a flood threat. So again, part of the reason why we have an upgraded look at that flash flood threat for really Sunday into Monday, it's because of this feature, that area of low pressure that will be developing in the Gulf. Overall, we have very wet conditions for folks that live in Mississippi, northern Alabama, North Georgia. That's the zone for today's severe weather. But look at this strip of dry land from parts of the Panhandle through Albany, Georgia, up through Augusta, South Carolina. These are areas that there could be a silver lining here. We get some much needed moisture in areas that are dealing with dry conditions. The severe weather threat lingers tomorrow. We have a 1 out of 5 potential here for severe weather. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a marginal, minimal risk, a similar setup of level 1 be introduced for Saturday and Sunday. We'll bring it to you, but I wouldn't be shocked by that. So here's a look at our exclusive Fox model. What I want you to focus on is the Gulf. You're going to see this little spin ball here. That's that area of low pressure that I was discussing. So again, as we go into the weekend, that kind of focuses your eye, brings in the showers, and then we'll have a little extra oomph of energy that comes in from the west. 5 to 8 inches of rain, very common from Hilton Head Island. Charleston, maybe about 3 to 5. Savannah, 5 to 8. Again, these are big enough numbers to produce a flood threat. It is through Tuesday, so hopefully we can spread the love, so to speak. But unfortunately, if we continue to get this heavy rain falling in too short of a time, we're going to be running the risk for street flooding. And these are areas that already struggle with low land flooding and street flooding. So the fact that we have 3 to 5 inches of rain for Charleston, 5 to 8 in other spots of the state, we are going to have a tough go of things. So there's a look at the next 4 days. Again, severe weather risk coincides with this as well, but the flood risk only increasing as we get towards Sunday and also pushing through the beginning of next week.